Welcome back, Patriots. Today is Sunday, March 5, 2023, year of our Lord. A historic day in our founding history because on this day, March 5, 1770, was the Boston Massacre, where patriots, the Sons of Liberty, some civilians were protesting with the redcoats. They were, remember that a young boy had just been shot, who was with some other protesters protesting the taxes. And I think he was Christopher Sider. I think he was 11 years old. I'm not sure now. I have to go back and look. 10 or 11 years old. Massive funeral procession. They took the boy's body to the Tree of Liberty. Thousands of people from Boston were in the funeral procession. A lot of young kids. Sam Adams used that to really gin up kind of a rebellion against, more and more anger against the British tyranny. So, and it kind of boiled over on March 5th, 1770, when 5 patriots started out with a snowball fight, yelling and screaming, and one of the redcoats shot into the crowd, and they all started shooting, and 5 souls lost their life, 5 patriots. And the first adult, now this young boy is the first casualty, we'll say, of what will become the Revolutionary War. But the first adult was Crispus Attucks, a black American who had won his freedom, worked on sailing vessels, and was right there with Sam Adams and the Sons of Liberty, bitching at the redcoats when that happened. And trivia question, who defended the soldiers? A famous person, patriot, defended the soldiers because he wanted them to have a fair trial. Put his name in the comments. I'll look and I'll give you a star if you were right. If not, I won't give you a star. But then it was 5 years, roughly. It was March 5th, 1770 was the Boston Massacre. Then April 19th, so like 5 years and a month later, 1775 was Lexington and Concord. And I think January 6th kind of parallels the Boston Massacre, and Einstein said history doesn't repeat itself, but it does echo. So if the timeline holds true, look out come spring of 2026, because that would be our Lexington and Concord. Hoping Trump gets elected and we take our country back peacefully, but folks, we're in trying times. You get a little look at somebody's buzzing up and down the road on their dirt bike or little enduro because the sun is shining and the roads are dry, even though there's snow on the ground, and people got cabin fever and they want to. I've seen Harley Davidsons this time of year. No kidding. Sometimes when it's pretty damn cold out and even a little bit of slush on the roads, and I'm thinking that is really dangerous to be driving a motorcycle. But hey, who am I to judge? I've did some pretty crazy stuff. Ask anybody that knew me growing up. So it looks like while we've got this war, they're pushing for in Ukraine more and more, mission creep into, it's already, in my opinion, we're in World War III. It's just the level of it is getting much worse almost daily. NATO, I shared one of my shorts. If you look at it, you'll see a video. Somebody took a drone and went over all the NATO equipment that's heading to Ukraine. And it looks like World War III to me. Putin's not backing down, and neither are these idiot globalists or Joe Biden and his illegitimate regime. So, and before I forget, I think I posted the link. It's on Rumble. I think I posted the link in the community post to Trump's speech at CPAC. Watch it. It's 2 hours long, and it's worth. You'll be glued to your TV. Trump knows that he had some really bad people on his administration. He made some bad picks. He mentioned that. He said, "Now I know who the good ones are, the bad ones, and the not so bad ones." Trump's new administration is going to be killer. And he said, look, folks, it's do or die this next election. Look at the damage that's happened in 2 years, what Joe's doing to America and the world and his communist regime. this wokeism, this weak leadership, this anti-American mentality. And it's going to get worse. And Trump said, look, it's do or die the next election. Either we win and we save the country, or they win and we lose it. But he was just breathing fire. I mean, he went, I think Jack Posobiec said Trump is engaged dark MAGA. He was really on fire, so I hope you take time to watch it. Anyways, it was on Rumble, but I think I put the link in the community post. Check it out. So while this is going on with Ukraine, and we're heading, World War III is already well on its way to make, what do you say, out of the frying pan into the fire. It appears now that we are actively preparing to go to war with China. Isn't that nice thought, folks? And these are all some headlines and articles. You can just go to the Drudge. I usually don't go over there because Matt Drudge at one time was really a conservative site, and he's a bash Trump. If I didn't know better, I'd think the FBI or the CIA writes the headlines at the Drudge. Has anybody seen Matt Drudge since he broke bad? I don't know. So here we go. To prepare for a Pacific Island fight, Marines hide and attack in California. They're training, right? 29 Palms, California. Sitting around a plastic folding table in a dusty tent, a half dozen officers of the Hawaii-based 3rd Marine Littoral Regiment took a very short break from days of fighting on little to no sleep. The war, they said, was going well. They're wargaming right out in the desert. The unit, newly created and innovative in nature, was facing its toughest test yet, a 10-day mock battle across Southern California, where a series of military bases played a role in the island chain. Though outnumbered by the regiment it was fighting, the team from Hawaii had an edge. The team was built to fight on islands and along coastal shorelines, the littoral region in military parlance. It had also been given special equipment and the freedom to innovate, developing new tactics to figure out one of the service's highest priorities: how to fight a war against Chinese forces in their backyard. This is what they're training for, folks. Quote, how to fight a war against Chinese forces in their own backyard and win. Wow. This is China. China increases its military budget by 7.1%. $230 billion more to boost combat preparedness for major tasks amid fears it will launch an invasion of Taiwan. China plunges $230 billion into its military budget to boost combat preparedness. It reverses a 2-decade trend where China has prioritized growth over defense. Concerns are mounting that China is set to launch an invasion on Taiwan. Beijing is nervous about challenges on fronts including Taiwan, the self-governing island democracy that China claims as its territory to be brought under its control by force if necessary. U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi spiked China's rage last August with a visit to Taipei. Remember that? Probably over there laundering money. Who knows what the hell she was doing. U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi again went last August. In retaliation to that visit, China staged war games near Taiwan. There has since been a steady flow of weapons sales to the island from the U.S., including ground systems, air defense missiles, and F-16 fighters. On that note, F-16 fighters, State Department just approved $619 million for F-16 missile sale for Taiwan. The U.S. has approved more than $20 billion in arms sales for Taiwan since 2019. It's not that long ago. These deals China obviously strongly opposes. The State Department on Wednesday approved a potential $619 million weapons sale to Taiwan for hundreds of missiles to arm the island's U.S.-made F-16 fighter jets. Another headline here: Chinese military deploys fighter jets and warships after U.S. Navy announces reconnaissance plane trip through Taiwan Strait. Taipei says PLA Jets have entered air defense identification zones but haven't crossed median lines. China and the United States have flexed their military might around Taiwan over the past 3 days as tensions between the two rival powers flared up. Representative Michelle Steele, Republican California, on Wednesday introduced a bill in the House that would allow the U.S. to lend or lease weapons to Taiwan as Congress is looking for ways to ship more arms to the island. The legislation is modeled off the World War II era Lend-Lease Act that allows U.S. to arm the Soviet Union, Britain, and other allies prior to its entry into the war. A similar law for Ukraine was signed into law by the unselected President Joe Biden last year, or selected one, I should say, in wake of the Russian invasion. And if you don't think, this is all China stuff, folks. Here's another headline. U.S. officials are growing concerned that giant Chinese-made cranes operating at America ports, those big old cranes that go out and grab the shipping containers, right, and go back and forth. They're massive. Built by China, So I'm sorry, folks. Let me read this again. U.S. officials are growing concerned that these giant Chinese-made cranes operating in American ports across the country, including at several used by the military, could give Beijing a possible spying tool hiding in plain sight. You think? Some national security and Pentagon officials have compared ship-to-shore cranes made by the Chinese-based manufacturer ZPMC to a Trojan horse. While comparably well-made and inexpensive, they contain sophisticated sensors that can register and track the provenance, and destination of containers, prompting concerns that China could capture information about material being shipped in or out of the country to support U.S. military operations around the world. Guaranteed this is true. Guaranteed. The cranes could also provide remote access for someone looking to disrupt the flow of goods, said Bill Avania, a former top U.S. counterintelligence official. Totally believe it. They're embedded throughout our country. We got to get rid of the CCP. Israel says its window to attack Iran is closing due to Russian support. And I've been warning that this is going to happen really quick. And I can't believe Israel's going to let Iran build the bomb. So Israeli officials have been threatening they will attack Iran, and the U.S. has said Israel can do what it needs against the country. So apparently they've got our blessing. Israeli officials are claiming Russia might provide Iran, because Iran is providing Russia right now with drones, right? Tit for tat. Hey, if you take care of us, we'll take care of you. So that Russia might provide Iran with S-400 air defense systems. And because of that, Israel's window to launch an attack on Iran is closing. This was over at Bloomberg, reported on Thursday. The report cited anonymous people in the U.S. and Israel who said the prospect of Iran acquiring the S-400 system could accelerate plans for an Israeli attack. Guaranteed it's coming. While Russia and Iran have vowed to increase cooperation, it's not clear if Moscow has plans to provide Tehran with the S-400 system. Israeli officials have been openly threatening to attack Iran, including Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who has said Israel was running out of time to do so. The threats are focused on Iran's nuclear program, even though the Pentagon and CIA have acknowledged Tehran is not trying to build a bomb. Well, I'm going to tell the Pentagon and the CIA you're full of shit. They're definitely building a bomb. The longer you wait, the harder that becomes, Netanyahu said of a strike on Iran last week. We've waited very long. I can tell you that I will do everything in my power to prevent Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons. And for the health and longevity of Israel, I can promise you that they're gonna attack Iran. And I was Bannon, earlier in the week was interviewing people, the War Room posse at CPAC in D.C. And there was a couple of Chinese Americans or immigrated from China, or their parents did, and they're hate the CCP. And they said, if we get, this is what they said, if we get the CCP out of America, quit doing business with them, shut them down, we're done with you, that it would cause their economy to implode, and that there will be an uprising. They said, you get out of China, and within 100 days, the Chinese people will take down the CCP. That, the Lao Baojing, which is the people, just the common person, they did not elect, it was a communist coup. That they weren't elected, the Maoist, okay? They took over the country. They weren't elected, and they said, we've been a great nation for 10,000 years, and we've had some bad governments, and this is, basically another one. And but what do you think of that? If it was interesting that you would say that, and you've seen the lockdowns and what they were doing to the Chinese people over there, putting them in cages, locking them in their apartment buildings. Remember, they caught fire and burned alive. There could be a lot of anger against the CCP within China, and if so, that's a really good thing. But her thing was, America's got to be done with the CCP. Shut them down. We're no longer dealing with the communist empire. And that, Renee just sent me an article. I don't know what it is. But anyway, she said, within 100 days, America, you quit dealing with the CCP, and in 100 days, we will take down the CCP, the Chinese people. So I thought, well, that's good, because I do believe people want freedom. They want their right to live and breathe and have their family, and without government controlling their property or person. I think that's just natural. Everybody wants that. Although there are there's share of people that want the government to take care of them, that are some lazy, no good pieces of shit. That are certainly doing a number on our government right now. But I believe at the end of the day, they haven't tasted tyranny yet, and it bites when it hits. But so I guess the thing is, watch Israel. Probably things are going to get hot in the Middle East after they bomb Iran. See what the relationship is between Russia. Is Russia going to come in and help them with this missile defense? That would be a problem, because that would allow Iran maybe to build the bomb, which, then all hell on earth is coming. I had this meme, I'm not worried about I am worried. I'm trying to think of what the hell it said. Oh, the only man-made global warming I'm worried about, and it shows a nuclear explosion, is a nuclear-armed Iran. Because they would cause some critical mass global warming, mushroom clouds. And that would be man-made, and that would cataclysmically overheat the planet. That would be bad. So, all right, I'm at about just over 18 minutes yet. I will show you, I'm out at the gas station. I was out here, I'm not working today, but I brought my ladder out, but I'm getting all my stuff out of here. Kind of everything's out of the way. I got three little cabinets, an old roll-top desk, and actually it's not old. It's one we bought years ago. New when we bought it. A couple of these are old cabinets, and I can just work around them. But I've got some wiring I want to do. A friend gave me a single stoplight. It's just whatever what is it? Red at the top, yellow in the middle, and green at the bottom, whatever it is. And I'm going to wire that up, I think, put up in the corner over there and hang it from the wall. So it works. I've got some shelving. That's just kind of a cheap shelf, but I'm going to build a nice shelving that goes all the way around the room that I can display stuff on. I want to put a couple outlets up by the shelving so I can plug in some lights. I've got an idea here for what I want to do for kind of the main light in the middle of the room here. But maybe by the end of next week I'll have it insulated, wired and insulated, and then I can go to town putting the ceiling in and doing the walls and stuff. Kind of excited about having a project, and the weather's nice enough to work. I like the little bit cooler weather to work in. But I got some great ideas. I think you're going to like it when it's done. It's my hangout in the summer. My retirement plan is real simple. I want to, once we get our country back, I just want to sit here and watch the cars go down the road and sit here with my dog and listen to the radio and have a cold beverage and not have any worries, unlike the world we're living in now. So keep prepping and keep praying. I deleted the video the other day. I will show you one more thing I want to show you. You can get these on Amazon. If you can see that, okay? And this is a whistle. It works. So it's a whistle. You pull this little thing out, and if you can see that, there's a razor blade in there. It's a seatbelt cutter. If somebody's trapped in the car, or you are, this will just slice right through the seatbelt. And then, let's see if I can do this. This thing here, if you push this against your glass right in the middle of the window, it will shatter the window, and then you can just push it out, your side glass. So this is a great thing if you end up in the water, and your power windows ain't working. And I will share something. I watched on that, I'm trying to think, Missions with Purpose. What's the name? But it's a diving group, and they go looking for people that they couldn't find, and they think they drove off into a lake or river, and they end up finding them a lot of times. That's where they were. They've been missing for years, and they find their car underwater. Whether it was an accident or they just decided to, end it all. But he used one of these the other day underwater. But he said, do not wait, this idea for the car to fill up with water, for the pressure to equalize. He said they did that on Mythbusters, and they would have drowned if that's what they would have did. So you want to get out of the car immediately, folks. And if your window won't go down, you can bust it with this and get the hell out of the car. Be calm. It's just water. But get out of and the car will float for quite a while. So don't let it fill up. Get the windows broke, get your family out of there, whatever you got to do. And but anyways, these you can buy on Amazon or whatever, and you can get these. I bought like a 10-pack of these the other day. I'll give them to some friends. But you can get, there's higher qualities ones of these, but you can get them anywhere from a couple bucks to $20, depending on the quality. I'm sure this is, China crap. Well, everything is damn near anymore, isn't it? All right, I'm gonna end it here, guys. I will see you I'll see you later in the week. I'll update out here while I'm working on this probably. Nice break from being inside all winter, cooped up. All right, I'll see you later. See you, bye.